guys, today we're going to be talking about order of operations and how to solve those order of operations. So the first thing that I want to talk about is hopefully by now you have seen something that looks like this from your teacher, okay? I had a little help from my mom doing this because I'm not that creative, so she helped me do the diamond. But what we've been learning about, what we've been talking about is gems. So the order that we solve these operations are, we need to remember gems in order to do this. I know a lot of you guys remember Please Excuse My Dear Aunt Sally or PEMDAS, and yes, that's something that you guys probably learned in 3rd and 4th grade. So this year we're kind of moving on and we're teaching you something a little bit different. So that's not to say that you can't ever use PEMDAS, that's for sure, okay? But we also want you to remember it this way too, because this way will help you when you get into 6th grade and 7th and 8th and Algebra 2 and all of those things in high school. Okay, so when we look at gems, the G stands for groupings, and the groupings that you guys are going to see in the 5th grade are parentheses. So they kind of look like that, and usually they're going to have 2 numbers inside of them doing some type of operation. They might have more, it just depends. The next letter is E. E is for your exponents, okay, and I have 2 different exponent operations here that I'm going to write up on my big whiteboard over here just so you can see. Anytime that we have an exponent like 10 to the 2nd power, all this means is that you multiply 10 times 10, and 10 times 10 we know is 100. I can do the same thing with 2. So 2 to the 2nd power, 2 times 2, which is 4. So 10 to the 2nd power is equivalent to 100, and 2 to the 2nd power is equivalent to 4. So that's just a little bit about exponents, which you may have seen before or you may not have seen before. It probably just depends. You have the letter M in gems, and M is for multiplication and division. Remember that for multiplication and division, it's whichever one comes first in the problem when you're reading it from left to right. So a lot of times I take my marker and move it over, and whatever I run into first is the one that I'm going to do first. The S is for addition and subtraction, and again, same thing, whichever one that you come across from going to the left to the right. Okay, so let's look at a couple different orders, keeping in mind our gems. Our first problem up here is 9 plus 7 in parentheses, and then divided by 2. So according to my gems, I'm looking for my groupings first. And I do have groupings in this problem. It's 9 plus 7, and we know that 9 plus 7 is 16. So I'm going to write that down here. And I'm always going to rewrite my problem. Always, always. It just helps me to stay focused, and it'll probably help you too. So 16 divided by 2 is next. And then 16 divided by 2. If I have 16 things, how many groups of 2 can I make? And I know that that is 8. So my answer to this problem is going to be 8 following our gems. Now, the next problem that I have, it does not have any parentheses, and it has addition, division, and subtraction. So if I look back at my gems, okay, I'm going to hold it right there. There we go. I don't have any groupings, so I can skip that. I don't have any exponents. I can skip that. Multiplication and division. Do I have any multiplication and division in through here? Okay, good, I do. 80 divided by 4 is my division problem. And I know that 80 divided by 4 is 20. So I'm going to write my 20, and then I'm going to rewrite my problem, trying to keep color-coded here so I can stay organized. 10 plus 20 minus 5. Okay? Now, last thing on my gems is my subtraction and addition. Which one do I do first? So I'm going to start right here from the left, and I'm going to run my finger across. What operation do I run into first? Addition. So that's what I'm going to solve first. So 10 plus 20 is 30, and then I need to rewrite my minus 5, and 30 minus 5 is 25. So my answer to that problem is 25. Okay, last problem that I have, 9 times parentheses, 5 plus 2 parentheses closed. So again, referring back to my gems, I need to do my groupings first. I do have groupings. That's 5 plus 2, so that is 7. And I need to rewrite my problem. So I have 9 times 7, and all I need to do is use my 9s, so I can put my 7th finger down. I have 6 fingers right here and 3 fingers right here, so that means that 7 times 9 is 63, which is my answer to the problem. Okay? So looking back, we're going to look at another problem, and I'm going to need to grab something so I can wipe my whiteboard off with. We're going to look at 2 other problems that you may see in 5th grade. And the first problem looks like this. Alright, so as I'm looking at this, I see that I have a set of parentheses and a set of parentheses. And I don't have anything next to them. They're just butted up next to one another. So I'm going to have to think through this one. I know that I need to do my groupings first, and I have 2 groupings. So 3 plus 6 is 9, and 4 plus 5 is 9. Now, I can put my parentheses back around them, and I'm just going to have them next to one another. Anytime that you have 2 sets of parentheses that are right next to one another, it means that you are going to multiply those 2 numbers. So just like I did in the last problem, I can use my 9s, and I put my 9th finger down. I have 8 right here and 1 right here, so that is 81. So my answer there is 81. Okay? Next problem that I have looks like this. Think through this one. See if you can solve this one in your head before I even start. Okay? So again, looking back at my gems, I have to figure out what I need to do first. I know that I need to look for groupings first, which I do have. 8 minus 2, that is 6. Again, I can put it back inside those parentheses. Bring down my 5. Anytime that I have parentheses next to a number, it means that I'm going to multiply. So 5 times 6 is 30. My answer to this problem is 30. We will continue to talk about this in class, and we're going to be talking about this all year. So if you're still having trouble or you're still having questions, please don't panic. Just make sure that you ask and you're seeking that help if you need it. Have a great day.